stock is up around 1% or so. The numbers as far as Asian Paints is concerned were pretty strong. The management, MD and CEO, is now with us, Mr. Amit. Mr. Amit, thank you so much for taking out time for us. You have taken a price hike of 2% in the last quarter. Has the price hike done away the impact as far as raw materials is concerned? And post the price hike, what has been the demand trajectory?
So one thing for the paint industry, what we have seen is that the price elasticity, I think, is good because in the entire painting exercise, there is a large labor component which is involved. And therefore, the paint prices, if they go up, the effect on the overall painting is a little bit marginal, which kind of comes in. So I think that is a positive factor which goes for our industry. But having said that, what we have definitely seen is when you look at the T3, T4 markets, which are the smaller markets and so on and so forth, there we have been seeing that there have been downgrades which are happening from the premium and the luxury products to more economy products to that extent. And a small amount of deferment is also there from something which is a category like painting, which can be deferred for some time to that extent. But however, what we have seen is that the T1, T2 markets, including the metro markets, they have done extremely well, and the support of premium and the luxury products from there has been quite good overall in terms of what we have seen. So overall, I think the consumer demand has been pretty good in the 3 months as we have seen. And that is why I think we've got a volume growth of 37% and a value growth of about 59% this quarter. And we feel that the impact of inflation has been marginal, which has happened. If it has happened, it has led to some downgrades to economy products.
Okay, that point is taken, Mr. Syngle, but 37% volume growth in this quarter. What has aided this growth? Is this due to the higher ad spends as well? And more importantly, how sustainable is this volume growth going forward?
So overall, if you see, if you look at the last 6-7 quarters, the volume growths have been in the range of double digits, and the company has been driving the top line very, very strongly through various measures. And what we have been doing very consistently is that we have been introducing a lot of new products. We have been driving those new products through a huge amount of marketing initiatives. There has been a lot of innovation which has been done in the market in terms of the newer categories like waterproofing, categories like the emulsions. We have been able to kind of give them a huge fillip in the market overall to that extent. The other factor which has gone in our favor is the fact that the project segment, which is the B2B customer, that has also grown faster than retail, where we have seen very good growths coming from the builder and the construction segment because the real estate market seems to be going up. We have also seen a good fillip from the government infrastructure spending, which is there to that extent. And a lot of our waterproofing and other areas have got a huge growth coming in from those initiatives which are there. And lastly, I would say that there has been some pent up in the market because of 2 years of COVID. So I think a lot of homes have come for renovation and painting and repair before the monsoons to that extent. And that has also led to an increased demand, which is there overall. So what we feel is that one organization is driving it very, very strongly through a range of marketing initiatives. We are also gaining share in the market. At the same time, we see that there has been a good consumer demand, which has aided this entire volume growth. And we hope that as we kind of go forward, we will be able to maintain this double-digit volume growth.
Got the point, sir. But can you just in detail more talk about the raw material prices? They have seen prices coming down in the last 20 days. I know it's difficult for you to be so volatile in your final product price, but what is the expectation when you see such a sort of decline in the raw material prices?
So if you look at it, the PBDIT margins year on year have gone up to 19.4% overall to that extent. And that has been possible because of a better product mix, as well as from the point of view of that we have taken certain price increases and worked on our operational efficiencies in a very big way. But if you look at the gross margins, year on year and sequentially have come down because we saw almost a 6% inflation in quarter 1 over quarter 4. And despite taking a 2% price increase, I think we were affected by inflation very strongly. So as we, I think, go forward, it will totally depend on the volatility of the inflation in terms of how it shapes up, because we are finding now that while the crude prices are coming down, but the rupee is depreciating also to that extent. And therefore, it is very difficult to predict how the inflation will take shape in quarter 2 going forward. So depending on how inflation kind of shapes up, we think we should be in an overall band of about 38 to 40% in terms of gross margins. And from a PBTI margins, we should kind of maintain a band of 18 to 21% going forward.
Okay, so 38 to 40% when it comes to the gross margin profile is something that you're expecting. But as you also pointed out, it's very difficult to call out how raw material prices are moving. But the question is, if inflation is seen coming back in commodity prices, let's assume that, will you be taking further price hikes, or will you continue to wait and watch given the volatility that we have seen?
See, as a leader, in the industry, it is our responsibility that we see that whatever is the maximum absorption in terms of the inflation we can take, we should kind of take in the market so that we do not burden the customer and bring down the consumer demand. But at the same time, if the inflation really goes very high, we will take more increases. We've just announced one increase, which is on 1st of August for about 0.5%. And if the inflation really goes up, we will consider taking some more increases as the time goes by.
Okay, Amit, we'll let you go on that note. Thank you so much for joining us and making sense of those numbers. Very strong volume growth coming in this time around, 35 to 36%.